So since I last streamed, it was basically building up the nacelles and the wing segments, getting those together. I put some filler on just to rub down, try to smooth them down. So wings are done. Next bit is what goes in there is the landing gear. I have painted up all the parts. Haven't put together yet because the actual tyres need to be put on. The tyre needs to be sandwiched, and before I do that I need to paint it. The masking set has actually got circles that go over the wheel hubs, so what I can do is paint all of that silver, which I've done, which looks a bit odd having a silver tyre, put the masking on there, and then I can paint the tyre black and then take that masking off, and that should mean that that bit is nicely separated. You can imagine this is quite a delicate operation, and what's trying to do is to take out not just the ring, the middle section as well. So I just have a very small ring of masking tape. I can try and put that on there. I'm thinking that perhaps I should change the name of this stream from Rob's Models to Rob Has a Nervous Breakdown, or Watch It Live on Twitch. The paint we're going to be using is Tamiya XF85. They're really designed to really go through an airbrush than an acrylic. So what I do is to take some of the paint and then mix it with a little bit of airbrush cleaner, and it just helps it flow. It's more designed to be sprayed on and stuck on. It doesn't tend to flow too well with a brush. You kind of get more brush strokes in there. So what I like to do is take a bit of the paint, I just put it on the back of an upside down pot. All I want is a drip. There we go, that's probably far too much. And that just sort of dilutes it, but not only does it dilute it to make it thinner, it will just improve the flow. Because it stays wetter for a little bit longer, it will kind of find its own level, and therefore it sort of takes out the brush strokes. If it's too thick or too dry, when you paint it, it will tend to keep those brush strokes in the paint. Put that on, nice and some even coverage. We want to make sure that the paint is properly dry before we remove the masking, obviously. That I am actually pretty pleased with. No silver on the black tyre, and there's no black tyre on where it should be silver on the wheel hubs. So you can see that's now got the silver hubs and the black rubber round the outside. Let's build these up. They are essentially symmetrical, make it left-handed or right-handed by the addition of an additional strut on there. I'll just show you these two parts. This is essentially the same part, but you'll see the one on that side, there's an extra strut added on. So make sure I've got that the right way round. That matches that part, that matches that part. And we want to, this will therefore be the left side. Thread that onto there. To put those bits, glue that as is, and then try to get those cross braces, those cross members in there. Otherwise, trying to do all of that in one, it's going to be an absolute nightmare. A bit on there, a bit on there. That's going fine. Whilst that's going off, I'll just do the other side, and then hopefully the glue will have dried enough that it can handle the additional bit of moving around. just try to get those cross members in. So whilst they go off, let's try and add some of these cross members. So you get in there, yes, and then you get in that hole. Okay, it's funny how things are a lot easier when you use the right tools for the job. That's definitely the right way to do that. Put the two main struts together and then sandwich it, and those bits can actually just ping in due to basically putting them in there, and they bounce back into place. The great thing is this is getting held in place by friction, basically the springiness of the plastic, and kind of bent it in, so it is kind of keeping it in place. The glue is then just going to get pulled round the seams and actually pull itself, and this is just going to essentially be melting it. So let's dab a little extra thin on each of those locating tabs, and what will happen is that will now sort of lock it all into place, and that's really going to be making sure that that wheel assembly stays square. Little mud guards go over here. A dab of extra thin on each of those joints. And that is the landing gear done for each of those. So you can hopefully see there, that's a... So I think what I'm going to do now is leave that to dry, call those subsections done, put that to the side, and then it's going to be working on the internals. The internals, we've also got the bomb bay, the gun bay and the cockpit. Then once all that's done, it will just be a case of putting the two halves together, putting the wings on, giving it a paint job, canopy, masking, weathering, done.